Hey there. If you've ever wanted to bring that lush, tropical vibe right into your home with a plant that's, absolutely stunning, but also surprisingly chill, you are in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the ultimate guide for taking care of the cat palm. Let's get into it.
Right off the bat, let's talk about the two biggest reasons people absolutely love this plant. First, it gives you that instant jungle feel with those beautiful feathery fronds. But honestly, the real clincher is that it's completely non-toxic. That means it's a totally worry-free choice if you've got curious cats or dogs running around.
And I want to share this fantastic piece of advice from plant expert Anastasia Remezlo right away. She really hits on the single most important secret to a happy cat palm: humidity. Seriously, burn this into your brain because we're going to come back to this idea over and over again.
So let's get properly introduced. The plant we're talking about is officially known as Chamaedorea cataractarum. Now, it comes from the shady understory of rainforests in southern Mexico and Central America, where it often grows right next to streams. And that little detail? That's the key to understanding everything about this plant.
Here's the quick cheat sheet, the vital stats for your cat palm. You can see it's rated easy on the difficulty scale, and again, totally non-toxic to your pets. Its main needs are really straightforward. Water it about once a week and give it some nice, bright, indirect light. It's a super manageable plant.
Okay, so before we even think about touching a watering can, we have to get the day-to-day environment, the ambiance, if you will, just right. This is really the non-negotiable foundation for a healthy, happy plant.
First up, light. So what in the world does bright, indirect light actually mean? Well, just picture it. You want to mimic the dappled sunlight that's filtering down through a thick canopy onto a rainforest floor. You want things to be bright, for sure, but you absolutely have to avoid harsh, direct sun. It will literally scorch those delicate leaves.
So how do you get that perfect light? It's pretty easy. Try placing it near an east-facing window to get that gentle morning sun. Or if you have a more intense south or west-facing window, just pull it back a few feet. A sheer curtain also works wonders for diffusing that light. And hey, while it can survive in low light, it's not going to thrive or get that full, lush look you want.
All right, let's talk about watering, which is truly a balancing act. If you remember just one thing, make it this: consistently moist, never soggy. That's the golden rule. See, cat palms hate drying out completely, but they also absolutely cannot stand sitting in a puddle of water.
So how do you actually follow that rule? It's simple. First, just stick your finger into the soil. If the top inch or two feels dry, it's time to water. When you do, give it a really good soak until you see water run out the bottom. And then, and this is so important, always empty the saucer. Letting your palm sit in water is the fastest way to get root rot, trust me.
Remember our expert's tip about humidity and how this plant grows near rainforest streams? Well, here's why that matters so much. This plant is happiest with humidity levels of 55% or even higher. That dry indoor air, especially in the winter, is pretty much its biggest enemy.
So how do you create that humid little microclimate it loves? You've got 4 really easy options here. Misting a few times a week gives it a quick, temporary boost. A pebble tray under the pot can create a nice little pocket of humidity, but honestly, the most effective method is just a small humidifier. Oh, and grouping it with your other plants helps too, since they all release moisture and help each other out.
Okay, so we've got the daily environment set. Now let's talk about the long-term foundation for good health. This is the stuff you won't do every day, but it's absolutely vital for growth. The right soil, the right food, and of course, the right home. The perfect soil mix is all about balancing moisture retention with great drainage. A good starting point is a standard peat-based potting mix. Then, to keep it light and airy, just mix in a handful of perlite or sand. And most importantly, make sure your pot has drainage holes. This is an absolute must-have to prevent that dreaded root rot.
Now, what about feeding it? Well, think of this as a seasonal job. During the spring and summer, that's its growing season, you'll want to fertilize about once a month. Just use a balanced liquid fertilizer that's diluted to about half strength. But as soon as fall hits, you stop completely. The plant is resting, and trying to feed a dormant plant can actually do more harm than good.
And I have some great news about repotting. You really don't need to do it very often. Cat palms are pretty slow growers, and they actually prefer to be a little bit snug in their pot. The rule is super simple. Only repot every 2 or 3 years, and when you do, only go up 1 or 2 inches in pot size. That's it.
All right, so even with perfect care, your palm might sometimes try to tell you something's a little off. So let's run through a quick first aid guide. There's no need to panic. These are really common issues with pretty simple fixes.
This is probably the most common sight that worries new owners. You look at your beautiful palm one day and you see this. And your first thought is, why are the leaves turning yellow?
And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, the #1 cause is overwatering. It just means the soil is staying too wet for too long. Before you do anything else, go back to that golden rule and just check the soil. Let it dry out a bit more between waterings.
Okay, now for the other classic symptom. What's the deal with these? Those dry, brown, crispy tips that just seem to show up out of nowhere.
And there it is, just like our expert said at the very beginning. This is your palm's way of basically screaming for more humidity. It's trying to recreate that misty home it's used to. It could also be a reaction to minerals in your tap water, so sometimes switching to filtered or rainwater can help too.
And really quick, what about pests? Spider mites are the most common, and guess what? They thrive in the exact same dry conditions that cat palms hate. The treatment for most pests is pretty straightforward though. Just wipe the leaves down or use a gentle insecticidal soap or some neem oil.
All right, you've totally mastered the essentials and you know how to troubleshoot. So let's finish up with a few pro tips that will take you from being just a plant owner to a true plant parent.
These little things can make a huge difference. About once a month, wipe the leaves with a damp cloth. It helps the plant breathe. Every time you water, give the plant a little quarter turn for even growth. And when you're pruning, this is a big one. Only cut off fronds that are fully brown and do it at the very base. And whatever you do, never cut the top or the crown of the palm.
You see, a cat palm isn't really difficult, it's just specific. Give it the right light, keep it consistently moist, and give it tons of humidity, and you can create a little tropical oasis right in your own home. You've got the guide now, so the only question is, what corner are you going to transform next?